So you are so welcome. Wealthy Lightworkers Academy, our diamond track. We've changed the name, so I'm settling into that. And yeah, so I'll just talk for a few minutes about what's going on for me, and it might be useful, it might be helpful for you, and then we'll jump into coaching. And I'm here for at least an hour, but an hour and 15 minutes, 20 minutes. My kids are coming in at 12:30 here, which is 11:30 your time. So I'll have to leave here at 20 past at the latest. But I'm happy to be here with you and to answer questions. And yeah, I'm doing the Mastery at Metatron program again, and I would advise you all, while you're in this space, to just go through the modules, you know, as if you were in that space, because it's yours forever, that program. And we're literally in the heart space this week, and we're going to stay here for 2 weeks in this heart space. So how that has shown up for me this week is it has brought up a huge amount of family stuff, old fucking stuff, that usually it would have knocked me. It would have completely knocked me, and it would have derailed me. And this week, something very unusual has happened that it feels like there's nothing over my eyes anymore. It feels like I can clearly see the drama, and I can clearly see me saying, no, I'm not doing this anymore. And I can see how upsetting that can be for the people in my family who just want me to say yes, and who just want me to be the Aisling that I was 20 years ago. And they just will never, ever, ever see that I am a different person now. I have different expectations, I have different desires, I have different needs, and they're just not the same as 20 years ago. So this is like, before that would have sent me to bed for a week, you know, with the being upset and sorry to let people down and worrying about everybody else in the picture. And this time I'm the pain is coming, and I'm allowing it to come, and then it disappears, and it comes up, and I look at it and I speak to it, and it goes, and it comes up, and I'm just playing with that over this week, just allowing everything to be as it is, but me standing firm in my no. And for me, I'll just be absolutely transparent with you. It's around alcohol in Ireland and in my family is acceptable, and it's more than acceptable. It's the way we celebrate every occasion. It's the way we come together. It intertwines every single aspect of our lives as a family. And I, for the first time this weekend, said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to an Irish bar 3 nights in a row. So on the surface, it might sound a bit silly, but it was a huge moment of me running the risk of being, what's the word? Exiled from my tribe, which is very real in terms of our ego. And just something has shifted in me, and I'm just like, no. Just because everyone says I'm wrong, it's only wrong from their perspective. I can only do what's right for me. So it's huge. It's a simple thing, but it's huge. And I'm still playing with it, and I'm still processing it. And I haven't become a teetotaler. You know, I'm in Italy. I love beautiful food, wonderful conversation, deep conversation, and a glass or 2 of wine. And I like getting a little bit tipsy, and that's all. I can't do any more than that. I just physically, it just doesn't stimulate me, and that's no judgment to anyone that does. It's just me saying, this is what I really need right now, and it's not that. And if you really need that, that's okay. But the reaction is, if you're not doing this, then you're not part of our tribe, and you risk you risk losing that. So I'm processing that, and a beautiful thing happened. I arrived in the airport because I was in Malaga with my family. I arrived in the airport and I picked up, I love Paulo Coelho. For anyone that loves his book, The Alchemist, if you haven't read it yet, go and read it 20 times before the end of this year. One of my favorite all-time books, but I've read it, nearly everything of his. And he has a new book out called Hippie. And it just talks about a period in his life when he just did the magic bus across the world, a bus tour. But I opened the book and it had in it, and this is not related to Christianity or religion or anything like that, but I do believe in these beings. And I opened the book, and I wish I had it here with me. It's at my bed because I'm reading it, but it was, the man came to Jesus and he said, your mother and your brothers are outside. And Jesus replied, my mother and brother are the ones that listen to the voice of God. And for me, it was like, you know, that story of the ugly duckling that I've shared with you many times, about this duckling, this swan egg that arrives in a duckling nest, and when it emerges is ridiculed, is seen as different, ugly, doesn't fit in, doesn't quack like everyone else, and doesn't walk like everyone else, and goes through a very hard winter alone. We've all had that winter. And then emerges one day, and these guys come over and say, you're a fucking swan, like us. And I am realizing that family can be bigger than my ego understanding of it, and my feelings around it, which are the biggest things. So I'm just sharing that with you. I hope it might be useful to you in some way. I'd love to hear any thoughts. You can write them in the chat if you want to come on and just speak to that. I'd love to hear anything you have to say, or you know, just whatever comes through on that. That's just where I am this week. I would love to hear your thoughts on that if you have any. Otherwise, we will jump into coaching.
Ashley?
Yes, hello, my love.
Me, I'm not even supposed to be on, but I just wanted to say something to you before I go to work, if that's okay.
Brilliant.
Just about what you're talking about the family and the culture. I'm literally listening to you going, oh my God, thank God it's not just me. So, like, my sister is an alcoholic. She's in recovery 10 years. My dad is what I would describe as a functioning alcoholic. One of my brothers, I would say, is on a very slippery slope, and I recognize in myself the need to be very careful at times, because I can kind of, you know, if I've had a particularly difficult time and there's this sense of freedom, and then I kind of run amok a little bit. But I notice I'm so conscious because of my sister that she's in recovery and she's doing amazing, like 10 years without a drink. She was days from death. Like, I was actually planning her funeral, and the hospital told me to start making arrangements. So I'm really conscious of any occasions with my family because of her, and it all revolves around alcohol. And I feel so sorry for her because, like, she will leave early, and understandably so, but even if it's not all about alcohol, everybody is talking about alcohol. And I just look at her and I think, like, it doesn't always have to be it. Can we not just get together and have tea and sandwiches, or you know, just have a picnic, and it's all about alcohol. And it's just, I used to look around and say, it's just my family, like. And I know my dad's family, they're all the exact same, because back then it was just, sure, look, we won't talk about our feelings, we won't deal with stuff, we'll just go to the pub and everything will be grand and we'll bottle it all up. So his family, he didn't know any other way. My mum still fights against it. And I look at her, she's 74 on Sunday, and I just think at that age of her life, she shouldn't still be fighting against it. She wants to go into town and do tours and go to plays and do other stuff, and she doesn't want to sit in, you know, Ballyfermot in the pub with the same people, having the same conversation. So I just wanted to say to you, I totally feel what you're saying. And again, if I go to an event and I drive and I decide not to drink, people say, "Oh, are you not well? Are you on antibiotics?"
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just, you know, and I feel so much for my sister. And if, you know, because that she can't and she can't be around that. And the culture is just, it's so hard to be in a situation where you want to say no to alcohol. And I know it's the joke, the Irish, oh, they're great, but the legacy of, you know, having a great time and the crack and the heartbreak, you know, that it causes is a different side of the story. So I just wanted to come on and say that, because everything you said just resonated with me, and I just applaud you for standing up and saying, no, it's not what I want to do this weekend. And, you know, it's not always easy, but that's what I just wanted to say.
Thanks a million. Thanks a million. And I know we're in the same community in terms of Clondalk, and you're working there, and you're Ballyfermot, and that's where my family are from.
Yeah.
So know that so I really appreciate you coming on and saying, thank God it's not just me, because that really helped me to say, thank God it's not just me. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'll be zipping off in a few minutes. Enjoy the rest of the call, and thanks, Ashton. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, thanks, Karen. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so okay, so I have some things to I would love to just hear everybody, if you can just write in the chat box, because in my case, I'm speaking about alcohol, and I'm speaking about standing up and saying no, and I'm speaking about the fear of upsetting the people in your life, in your tribe, in your family. And I would just love you to just write one thing that comes up for you, or that's helpful for you about this conversation that we're having. Because it could be alcohol, it could be other addictions, it could be manipulative personalities, it could be passive aggressive, it could be, you know, but ultimately the message here, I suppose, is standing up for your heart, is standing up and is like, no, really powerfully, without judgment, without anger, just saying no. And that's the courage piece. And I just love to hear if that's helpful for you at all. Oh God, I love that, Alessandra. An addiction to trying to please people. I think I had that one as well. So tiring, and coming out of that. Definitely me. And Bernie, you have a lot to say on this, so I'm delighted about that. The work changes you on a molecular level. Yeah, and alcohol is a drug of choice sometimes. Yeah, it's definitely a drug, but it's a pattern as well. And Bernie, yeah. Oh yeah, just because you're at home doesn't mean you're not working. Yeah, I get that. Can you not just put on a wash? Can you not hang the clothes out? Can you not figure out what's supposed to be in the fridge to eat today? I'm saying, no, I do that at the weekends. Oh, and Louise is sharing here as well, yeah. Alcohol free for 10 months. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, definitely more clarity. As I said, I haven't become a teetotaler, you know, and I'm not against alcohol. I'm living in Italy. Wine is on the table everywhere we go. So, but it's just a different way of consuming it, or a different, yeah. Anyway, my darlings, thank you for your feedback. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that gives you something. I don't know how that's going to manifest in your day, but I hope it's useful. Deborah, you asked a question in the group, and I'd love to just respond. So I'd love to, if you want to come on. Helen has said our family has rejected her this week. Yes, got you. So you're speaking too much about my beliefs. I know. You're a swan, Helen, and really struggling to know what to say for the best. Yeah, Helen, I'm going to bring you on later if you can, if if you're available to speak. If not, and Louisa says people think we're crazy. Oh God, you could have a whole fucking weekend conversation about this and really, yeah, bring up some dragons. Okay, Deborah, are you here, love?
Hello, yes I am.
Oh.
Hello everyone.
So you posted a question, and it was there was two parts to it. One is around your VIP offerings. What can you offer people, ongoing or repeat customers or something like that, so you can give me a bit more clarity. And the second piece was that you had this part-time job opportunity, and you were considering that. So I've lots to say about all of it, but if you want to just give a bit more clarity to the question or.
Okay, so firstly, alcohol always. My dad was an alcoholic, so it's always interesting. But I'm just sitting here like anyway, just internalizing the pain, but realizing that he's actually quite a master soul, putting an end to lots of Yorkshire hard man patriarchy stuff. Anyway, so I'm very grateful to. But also my brothers. I don't know. It just made me look at the dynamic like between me and my brothers, because my mum's not around either. And we just let each other be. Like if one says I don't want to do it, we're like, oh, okay. But it's so amazing. So I feel very grateful for my brothers that we just get each other, even though we're all very different. So that feels quite nice. It's like a really nice family dynamic. It's my neighbours in the drink that I struggle to say no with, but I am doing that. And now they are, interestingly, when they don't feel like it. So that's good. No one's under that pressure. Okay, so. Yes, so I was out of the blue. So I don't know where I've been the last few weeks, but it's just been I found it really intense, really tricky, like just being in this stuck somewhere, in fear actually, and not feeling safe. Lots of inner child stuff coming up, but basically not feeling safe. But that coming out with money. And just constantly feeling like, oh, what more do I have to do? La 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 la. And so I was having this tantrum, and also there was another exercise that I did. But Jenny Paris, my mother-in-law, was doing my head in a little bit, if I'm honest. And one of the things, and Jenny was, well, what's she do? What's the worst thing? And I said, she just doesn't do anything. She's at home all the time. She could get a part-time job, but she just looks after the sister's kids, blah, 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 blah. And just, where are you doing that? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm at home all the time in my head. I'm not interacting with people very much in the real world. And then within 2 days of about money and this interaction, my friend who was my boss about 8 years ago, she's now head of media. And she said two things. One, do you fancy a drink sometime? And two, have you ever considered any freelance? We're a bit stuck at the moment. We've got lots of things coming up. So it's back in my media world. So I went in and met the team. And so it's 2 days a week. The money's great. It's like £200 a day. It's just 2 days a week. It's just to the end of May for now. And then we'll see what happens after that. But you know what it came up was I've been really thinking about it, thanks to Helen, who also put this really amazing question in the group, was it's about my value. Like, someone's valued me, someone who's worked with me before has valued me and offered me this money. But so there was that coming up. So someone else is valuing me at that price, and in her message she said, I could get someone from an agency, but I want someone who's good. And I thought, well, that's not how I felt when I was working with you 8 years ago. I didn't feel like I was very good at all, but that's that good enough stuff. And then I was thinking, so what is it? And it was just that I was so tired of just not knowing where the money's coming from. So I feel like this sense of relief that for a short time I'm going to be having this regular wage. It's not my responsibility. It's my responsibility to do the work, of course, but it's not my responsibility to bring the money in. And that's the bottom line of it. Is like this I feel safe if someone else is paying me. I know that money's coming in regularly, at least for a short time. So I feel relieved. I also think I'm nervous about it because I haven't worked out of home for like over 2 years. But to be part of a team, you know, will be really, you know, it's an amazing charity, it's Water Aid, so they're amazing. And they're really lovely. And to actually get out the house and go to work, it's 2 days a week, and I weirdly blocked off Mondays and Thursdays to do admin and business stuff and just have my clients the rest of the time. So that was already there. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm really excited about going back to work, because there's some nerves about it, and also that sense of, oh, have I failed for my business a little bit? But I think ultimately it's the relief of the pressure coming off for a short amount of time. So that was one thing. So that's the work stuff. So I've said yes. I'm going in on Friday for my first day, and we'll see how it goes. One of the projects I'm working on is period poverty. So, you know, really patriarchal cultures around the world. They're getting these young boys to do rapping about periods and really education about women's menstruation. So, you know, it's right up my street, really. I don't know. So I'm there for something else as well, I think. Many reasons I'm there, but I think just this relief at the moment of, oh my gosh, I know I'm gonna pay the bills next month. And I don't know where that's come, because I've always had clients, and I've looked at my money for this month, and it's already, you know, over £1,000. But, you know, I want to go on holiday. We had to cancel our holiday to Jersey because I just didn't know we were going to have, you know, we haven't. Yeah. Anyway, so I want to go on holiday. I want to feel safe. I want to feel safe.
So I'm going to speak to everything that you said for a minute, because I've been thinking about it. So there have been times, different times, that I took a job. So one of the times was when I needed to support my business. There was the money wasn't coming in. I knew I had potential, but I just and my husband was slowly losing faith. I still had it, but he was like, "This is ridiculous. It's years." So I took that part-time job, 2 days a week. It brought in literally £1,000 a month, but it was enough to just get my business on track. And I did that for 2 years, 2 days a week. And I didn't leave that job until I had 3 10K launches, until I was absolutely sure that my business had the potential to support me and my family. So that was just, you know, the first one. I was like, great, okay, let's keep going. I had to serve, I had to create the program. And then it was like, okay, try it again. Woo, okay, this is getting exciting. And then when I did it the third time, I thought, okay, I'm ready to leave this job. So in those 2 years, I believe that was a mini contract. And like you have your sole contract, and sometimes you have these little aside mini contracts. And I believe, or I feel now looking back, that my circumstances pushed me to look for that job. If my business had been successful, I would never have considered any job, any work. So I was pushed into that. The role was ludicrous that I got it. I had no qualifications. I stepped in. My coach at the time was called Bernadette, and so that was the girl I was taking over from. Story, and the other, my new boss, was called Angela, so Angels. So I was sitting in the interview going, this fucking job is mine. This is unbelievable. And literally was mine. Within a few days they rang and gave it to me. But those 2 years, I was working with people with mental health difficulties, some people that had long-term chronic mental health difficulties and had ended up in institutions, and were trying to come back into community. And it was to introduce and to help them to meet volunteers. And it was just, I would train the volunteers. and then I would meet with the people on the program, and I would match them. And it was literally, they went for a coffee, they went to the cinema, there was a small budget, and literally for 6 months, 12 visits, one every 2 weeks, they met, and I just monitored and supported them and helped them become friends, really, and helped this person who had been out of society for so long just to regain their confidence. But I learned so much about mental health, and the fucking broadness of it, the hugeness of it, that I would never have learned from a book. I would never have even explored it. And almost immediately I started that work and started to gain an understanding of you know, it's huge, it could be years in it, but the understanding that I got, immediately the clients that were coming through, you know, I'm schizophrenic, I'm on medication, I'm coming off my medication, what do you think? And I was immediately able to reply with full confidence and say, stay on your medication, go and speak to your counselor or your therapist or your key work person. You know, I'm here to support you, but this program may not be for you right now. Or go and consult your doctor and your therapist and ask them if this program is for you right now. And I also got some very strange emails and very strange letters and posts and messages that probably, I don't know what I would have made of them before, but afterwards I was very easily able to spot when people just had a mental health condition and it was nothing to do with me, and that I needed to support them in other ways. And to the case of, like, someone would say, I love you, I love your program, and then the next week completely schizophrenic. Like, you fucking bitch, get me off your list. Go and subscribe me. And I would be like able to respond in a calm, you know, appropriate manner for that person, real, and just helping them to unsubscribe themselves or unsubscribe or whatever. But just anyway, the short story is, sorry I gave you the long version, that it really gave me a depth of learning and understanding that has supported and will continue to support my business forever. You know, and it is in this world of spirituality, you have to make sure that you're working with people that have their feet firmly on the ground and have full support, you know, in particular around mental health and those sensitivities. So I would have never got that if I'd have been making money at that time. And another thing it showed me is, before that I was in my business all the time, working all the time. And after that I realized, on working 2 days a week and in 3 days a week, and that was like 15 hours a week I had for my business, I created 3 10K launches. So, and then there was other money coming in, you know, in different, but I'm just talking about the launches were sort of the key for me, where I made a big chunk of money in a short time. But there was money coming in then consistently throughout. But for me, when I have a launch, I can see, okay, I can survive for a few months. So whatever I do in the few months, whatever money I bring in is a build up for the next. So, but when you get that chunk of money, it sort of gives you that security. Well, it gives me that security. Was there anything else I wrote down? So sometimes you take a job to support your business when you're growing. Other times you take it to do some learning, a mini contract that you might not have recognized or have even been open to if your circumstances weren't the way they were. And sometimes you do it to support your soul. So I've just got myself a fucking job as well. So I need to get out of this house. I need to learn Italian. I need to speak to human people and start to make some friends. So exactly what you said, an opportunity came up. It's not the first time I've been offered it. Please, can you come into a school and teach English? Now, I have a diploma, I've experience. I used to teach English to foreign students 20 years ago. So I literally went in yesterday and said, yes, it's like 1.5 days and it's in 3 schools and it'll be for 5 weeks. That's all. So it's limited, which I like. It's it's completely serving the purpose. The money is honestly irrelevant to me at the moment, because I could make 5 times that. The money is irrelevant. So it's serving my soul at the moment. It's going to help me to really step fully grounded into being in Italy, and part of that is learning the language. So I need to be out with people. And I have more time now than I have ever had in my life. My husband is here at home in the evenings. He only works 24 hours a week. And he is here. Whereas in Ireland, my husband was gone, shift work 3 or 4 nights of every week. Every single week for about 2 years. So I was parenting alone a lot of the time, and running a business and all of that. So I have so much support here. I have him, I have his mother around the corner. I have so much time on my hands, and I'm farting around here, supposed to. And I can't physically seem to do any more work in my business. So I know that 2 days out of the house will be really good for me mentally, that when I'm here, I'll be focused. And it doesn't mean that I have to be here doing the business, but I can be in a cafe doing the business, but 3 days, and they don't even have to be. I built a successful business on 15 hours a week, and it seems to work better for me when time like that is condensed. So what are you getting from all of this, Deborah? Is it helping? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's that, being out the house. But what's just come to me now is that it's like I need to see the real world for a little bit as well. One, it's an earth charity, so I mean, of course, I'm going to be there, and looking after the planet and water and all of that stuff. So of course, that's where I'm at. But also, it's just seeing that real world, because I used to be a journalist, and I can't bear watching the news anymore. So it's almost like throwing me back, and you have to see what's going on. I used to travel all over the world for my job, to the most beautiful but harsh environments for people, poverty, all of that. And I think I just need to remind myself that it's not all this, hold the light for it.
Yeah.
It's not fluffy, because we know it's full on, this work, but also, to see, really just to remind myself what it is like for people around the world. It's not, doesn't feel like all love and light. And I've been asking, well, how does all this stuff, how is this helping the rest of the planet, who haven't got food, water, all of that? So it's just that lifting. So I don't know, there's something else going on there, definitely. But mainly it's that, oh God, I know I'm going to have that money coming in.
Yeah And it's limited, and it's
limited, and it's going to focus my hours. Because like my brother said to me, he said, what you do in 5 days, you can do in 3, because how much do you fart about? And I said, yeah, I totally.
Yeah.
And also it will give me a reason, an excuse, a reason, to not feel like I have to be at home with the kids all the time. I mean, Lee's at home three days, apart from the weekends in the week. He's only gone 2 days a week, so those other time I don't need to necessarily be there. And but anyway, so I'm staying open to it, about why, and just the fact it didn't have to, it just arrived. Kind of interesting. So that's it. So yeah. So I've said yes. Yeah, I've said yes. And there is that fear of stepping up, and it's just that I think it's a balance. I think there's a balance, like you said, just being in my business all the time. It kind of, it's maybe got too. I can't see the wood for the trees. Whereas since I've said that, I'm thinking, I'm going to put a course out on. I don't know, not that I've written the course yet. For Mother's Day, it's the back to basics, really, like the clear 7 steps to clearing fertility. I don't know, so I think it will make me more focused.
Yeah And we're about to step into the Abundant Heart again, and this will probably be the final time that I run it me physically live. So that's going to be there the whole way through April and May. So you can literally do that program.
Yeah.
You can do it quicker because you have the material there, but you could literally follow that and have at least one, many programs as you want. Well, one or two out within 2. But brilliant. Okay.
So I think that's good. And in terms of the VIP stuff, it really threw me. So one gorgeous client who came to me to feel safe becoming pregnant again, is now at that stage. So her program's finished, but she said, I don't feel ready to say goodbye to you yet. I mean, she's not, but she feels like she knows it's all happening in the background, whatever's happening. We've met her baby soul, all of this stuff. But so the only thing I could say to her was maybe it's just once a month that we just have that check-in, and then when you become pregnant, we'll see where you're at with that. But the other one is the soul plan client. So it's not a baby client, but she does similar stuff to me, and she wants me to kind of help her to develop her intuition, so she becomes a baby spirit communicator.
Wow,
I know, and I'm thinking, well, I don't know. They just rock up. I'm not sure there's any process to it apart from the clearing. I didn't know what to say to her. She said, I feel like she's really massively expanded, like clearing a lot of stuff. It's her last session today, actually, and she just wants to go up to the next level of her personal development, but also this is she's a hypnotherapist. She her whole soul plan was very much about the similar to me, like the babies being her clients. That came through very clearly. Rosa is absolutely working with her. My Rosa, I see my Rosa, she's not my, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's that, like, how building her confidence in communicating with these baby souls, and I don't know what to offer her for that.
Oh, I love this. So I developed the Abundant Heart program by working with a client through the process of the Abundant Heart program. She said, I want to get my program online. How do I do that? And I was like, well, I've never thought that before, but let's just set up this thing and get on the phone. And you ask me the questions and I'll give you the answers, because that's how I usually am good. I respond. And that was it. And then I looked back, as I went through the process and looked back, I thought, this is the program, and that's how it happens. So you can totally do it. Like, I would even, like, she's already paid you, so you don't really have to sell her. You can just offer her another package, if you want, at the same price as your soul plan. And just ask her, look, would it be possible to record this material? You don't have to. I didn't record the material with that client. She just brought me through. But that could be an option. Look, I can do this training, but I've never done it before. And if we do it, would you be open to recording some of it? So, I mean, some of the sessions you might not be able to share them. They might be just when you're working with one-to-one, it's not always possible to share that. But that could be an idea. But you could definitely do it with her and note the process yourself. And it's usually the right questions will come at the right time, at the right stage. What do I do in the beginning? So I'm training people in the background now to be this Wealthy Lightworkers Academy. And that's literally, I said, listen, okay, just give me your questions. And it was like, I'm working with 2 people at the moment to become coaches. And I just said, like, and the questions were, what do you do when you're on a call, and how do you know who to speak to, and what's the first thing you do and what's the last thing you do, and how do you end the call on a happy note or a positive note, and how do you know when people are struggling, or they, like, these questions. I didn't know any. I didn't even know there were questions. It was just turn up. Like, to me, it's effortless. I just fucking press Zoom, turn up, make sure the light's working, and then stay here for an hour or two or whatever it is, and just have a chat. And so it's effortless. There's no, I wouldn't, if you ask me, I'd say there's no process, but there actually is, because when I answered those questions, I was like, oh, well, you know, there's a piece about rapport, there's a piece about noticing. When I say to someone, does anybody want to come on? And always somebody will involuntarily move their heads or lift their hands, or, you know, go to scratch their nose, which is exactly the same as putting your hand up. You know, so it's like little things that I don't even notice, you know, and like there was so much that just came from them asking questions about how do you do that, and I wouldn't have known that I was doing anything. And it's like Fabian Fredrickson says, 80% is your craft, is how you do stuff. It's because you're doing it so much, you're a master at it, so it doesn't feel like it's a thing that you can learn, but it is actually a thing that you can learn. And 20% is your magic. So you can teach your craft to as many people as you want, and they can bring their 20% of magic. So if people don't come to a call with me, they're not going to get my magic, but they're going to get the other person's magic, but they're going to get my whole process, the whole craft, or the you know, the way. So
interesting. Well, that's just coming. Yeah, it's just really coming in now. Oh my God, what if I'm going to be helping people to train?
The School of Baby Communicators, Deborah Kilby's School of Baby Communicators, bringing in the next generation. All those babies looking for college, your energetic college. You call in Lanto, who's an ascended master for esoteric schools. He's overlooking my school.
Who's this? And what's he called?
Lanto. He's quite a Chinese looking man with a big long beard, and everybody Google him. He's wonderful to look at. He's an ascended master, and he in particular helps wherever there's a school of metaphysics or spiritual or energetic learning, spiritual schools.
Yeah, okay. Do you know what? If anyone who can see spirits, probably, I don't know if we can see them all behind me going, oh,
like woohoo, woo, finally. And this could be, you just start with that client. It took me a year after working with that client. I was probably working with her maybe 3 months until she got her first package out. And then she became the basis for the whole program. She became the biggest testimonial, and but it was, I can't remember now. I'm never good with times, but I think it was about a year or about 9 months before I actually sold Abundant Heart for the first time after that, I think. So it could be, you know, it doesn't have to be all immediate, but you can get the groundwork done now. You can get, like, you could sit down now and just, okay, I'm ready for this. And just see what comes through. Write it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was wondering what I was going to offer her.
Well,
so, but yeah, she's already asked. That's what she wants. She wants to feel confident in communicating with the babies. So
that's what I would do. I would say to her, yes, look, let's do another package. And in that package, so whatever she pays, I don't know if it's 3 sessions or 6 sessions or...
Yes, 7.
So 7 sessions, and let's just, in 7 sessions, let's set the intention that you'll be a baby communicator. And how much are you charging her?
So she had paid, the original price was $777, and I put my prices up in February to $997.
Woo! Okay, so 997 for this qualification, certification, is a wonderful, is a bargain. I mean, a year for me in college was $4,000 each year. So this is, so I think you can say to her, look, I'm willing to do this. If you want to learn, we can do this over 7, you know, you can put a framework on that, whether it's 7 weeks or whatever you think you need. And but I want an amazing testimonial, and if possible, I'd like to record as much as is appropriate.
Yeah, she lives in Bali. I'll be quite happy to go. She recommended me to another client in Bali, and someone else I'm writing a magazine for is moving to Bali. It's all happening in Bali.
Okay.
Okay. So no, that's good. Sorry, I feel like I'm taking up loads of time, and I'm just conscious.
I think it's been really useful, Deborah. So go away, process, and just write down any of your thoughts on this, and just post it in the group, and let us support you, because I think you could build a whole program now if you wanted to. You could literally build this program now. You could build the blueprint. When I did Mastery at Metatron, it was just 7. I had nothing written. It was just 7 chakras, and then the names of the chakras came through, and then I just showed up. And I said, I don't know what this is going to be, but you want to dance with me? And that's all. So you can just literally build out the framework. You could have this client, you could bring her through personally, or you could open up a whole course. So I want you to go, you don't have to answer that now, go and process it and come back in with your thoughts tomorrow.
Honestly, yeah, I can almost feel them dancing, because at our last session, Rosa was very present, and it was almost not aligning her with them, because it's not my job to do that, but she came into the session basically, and you know, she's like the medium between the baby spirit world and all of that stuff. So
yeah,
something is going on, which I didn't realize until I spoke to you right now.
Woohoo! Okay, post back in tomorrow and give us feedback and let us know.
Thank you.
All right, I love you. Bye.
Thank you.
I'm just going to read quickly the messages, and just anyone else, just unmute yourself if you want to come on. Karen put up a poster. Oh yeah, about putting on a personal page on business. That's a whole. Yeah, look, you will never be a prophet in your own land. Has anybody ever heard that? Like Jesus had to, you know, there's, yeah, I don't know what to say about that because I'm still processing it. Yeah. When I was training in NLP, and I had to do 30 free sessions to get my qualification, and I had to go and sit and talk about those sessions, my teacher at the time said, do not give one single session to your family, because you'll lose your confidence. They can critique you on a level that no stranger can do. They will derail you and put you off track faster than anyone else. She said, do not give one single free session to your family. And the way I have understood that over the years is, you know, this idea of you're sacredly contracted to work with certain people. And I am probably not their teacher. And another example of that is my husband is what's he trained in? So science and sports science and health. So he is an expert. He's working with the local football team. They're accelerating their performance. They've got they won 6-0 last week, and that's their 3rd match. He's up there every week. He's just giving them performance, enhancing their performance. But he can't be my personal trainer because I'd kill him and he'd kill me. So it's just, I love him and he loves me and he has everything that I need. Like, I would ideally love to have a personal trainer that comes here once or twice a week and just helps me to bring my body back to strength. And my husband could do that for free, but we wouldn't work. It's just not possible. So I'm just answering Karen's sort of roundabout question about her brothers and daughter are crippled with anxiety and she knows what to do, but they wouldn't ask or allow her to help. And just sometimes you will never be a prophet in your own land, in your own family. Sometimes you just have to accept that you are not their healer, you know, and I hope that's helpful. But that's and it doesn't make it any less painful, but it you know, one of my sisters, she's been in all my programs. I've helped her, tried to help her build her business, and she's gone on a couple of talks recently and has just come back raving, going, oh my God, he said this and he said that, and he showed me about social media, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, you went and fucking paid for that? I gave it to you. I didn't say that to her. But so it's just that understanding of, you know, I hope that helps, Karen. Yeah, so I'm just going to run through these quickly. And Helen, how are you, Helen? Helen, your light is dissolving the darkness around. You're doing amazingly well, and it takes time as they learn to accept the real you. So I'm going through exactly the same at the moment, Helen. So oh, Bernie said there's a training course she would sign up to train as a spirit baby communicator. You've got a client. And an amazing testimonial and an enthusiastic student, which I love, you know, collaborating. Okay, and Louisa, oh my God, 2 clients. Louisa said she'd love to learn as well. Time to spread the word, Bernie says. And Louise is just talking about, you know, her father being the biggest critic. And a lot of us, you know, it's either an opportunity to stand up and say no, to get really clear on that no. I had a lot of that my whole life, and it looked for me this weekend, complete patterns repeating themselves. I was like, oh my God, haven't I stood here in front of my father for 20 years saying no? I will wear my hair as I want to. I will travel to where I want. Okay, so I'm gonna okay, so where are we? Who would like to come on? Come on, Alessandro. I know you're dying to come on and have a chat.
I'm always happy to come on, but I don't know. I just had this. I don't dream that often. I don't remember my dreams that often. But last night, that's not to bring the tone down, but I had this incredible dream where I was aware of kind of that I was dying.
Oh, love it.
And I could feel the death happening. And then I was lying in bed and I thought, I'm actually dead. I can't move. And it felt sort of, felt quite all right, but it was a bit worrying. Because I was thinking, am I really gone? You know? And I think it's weird because sometimes I don't admit it to myself, but I think I'm going through a kind of letting go of lots of stuff, but I keep thinking, well, surely I've let go of enough, but it's never enough, and it's never everything. But it's almost, it relates to what we were saying about being yourself and just letting go of what you know, what I think I am. And I know even with my Qigong, when I'm with one-to-one work, when I'm not there and get myself out the way, it works the best. So it's like, who am I anyway? I'm just a kind of conduit. So I'm just sort of, today the lesson was actually about living more fully now. You know, when I woke up, although I felt a bit down, you know, I felt I was half dead. It was like, that's just reminding you, you know, you can't wait. You know, what are you waiting for? Like, what are you waiting for? You know, do it now, be brave, you know, be expressive, just go for it, you know, just go for it. And I know it sounds all a bit cliched, but it's kind of, I don't know, I was a bit disturbed, I have to say. You know, when I couldn't move at night, I was thinking about my daughter's going to find me dead, and are the papers in the right place? You know what's going to happen, with everything.
Yeah, wow.
It was quite, anyway, I don't want to bring the tone down, so we're all alive.
No, not at all, this is wonderful.
I'm grateful that we're all alive and we're here. And I'm just about here, but, if I go sometime, then it's nice knowing you all.
So I wasn't going to mention this, but I'm really glad you have. So I'm doing this practice every day now for about 2 weeks. And it's a mantra that I got from Jen Sincero, Sincero. And I audio listened to 2 of her books one weekend or 2 weekends. And basically, one is You're a Badass, and the other one is You're a Badass at Making Money. I would thoroughly recommend you listen to there's so many golden truths and nuggets in there. And you can get it on YouTube for free, and you can just listen to the audio in the background. One is about 5 hours and one is about 6. They are gold dust. I will listen to them again and again. But the mantra that she gives, I don't know if I got it from these books, I got it from something from her afterwards, but it's, I'm ready, I'm available, please show me the way. So you can attach this to any goal that you want to achieve. So I'm attaching it to this month, this launch that I'm in. I want to bring in 25,000 euros and 25 new clients. So I'm open to either paying clients. And I don't mind if that's going to come through the Abundant Heart, or if it's going to come afterwards with VIP clients or VIP days, or I'm open to how that's going to happen. But that's my goal. So I'm attaching that mantra to that goal. So every day I'm sitting down, and so I did it this morning, and I'll explain to you what happened. So I'm ready means I'm ready to take fearless action. So whatever guidance you give me, I'm going to fucking act on it immediately. I'm available for this money and these clients to come in, and I'll make the space and create, I'm available for this. Please show me the way. And then you just sit with that and just open up that space for guidance. The guidance I've got from that simple thing has been off the charts every single time I do it. So this is my goal. Here I am. Show me the way. So this morning I had this. The thought was, do the meditation calling in all the clients that you want, which is one I've recorded many times. You all have access to it. I'll actually repost it in our group and do it for yourself. So I said, okay. So I was literally on the chair. I was doing this. So I said, right, I'll do it now. And I went in and I went to the place, and Metatron was there, other angels were there. And I took out the Abundant Heart program. And there was people clamoring to get in, but I was like, it's not fucking good enough. And Metatron said, on a scale of 0 to 10, how do you feel about this? And I said, it's a 6. It needs so much work. Some people are getting overwhelmed with the content. I need help to just make it more beautiful, make it easier. It's just not good enough. So he said, if you give it to us, we'll like, I don't even know the words, but anyway, I reluctantly gave it to Metatron, and it became full of light. And I said, give me that fucking back. And I was pushed away. I was calling in my guardian angel, Daniel. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I'm losing control. And suddenly I realized that it was all fear and it was all my ego. And with that realization, my body fell away like an overcoat. It dropped to the floor, and I emerged, this being of light with wings, standing beside Metatron and this line of angels. And people began to come in to the clearing, and myself and the angels together as a team were just handing them individually this little box of light, which was the Abundant Heart program. And they were just queuing up, and they were just gently taking their box, and off they went, and this line of white beings, angels. And I just understood that by letting it go, that it was no longer mine. It became, it's God's. And by letting it go and allowing more people to come in and avail of this, I can then pay for the support to build this incredible program the way it was meant to be. And by me keeping it small and for myself and only allowing in that trickle, that it's the keeping it mine. It's mine. Because I said that, I was like, this is mine. Give me that back. Give me back my stuff. And it was all ego. So there's been a moment this week where I really feel like I shed a skin. And just this morning that happened. And the fear, I was like, what the hell? Are you angels, or are you, this is, losing control, but it just was not me. So I have died a death repeatedly this week. And yeah, it's so I completely understand what you're saying, Alessandro. I think it's a stage that you reach when you're a spiritual teacher, that your whole body dies in some way. And years ago, and I was fascinated with dreams, and I researched a lot, and I had a dream about a cousin of mine died. We were there, had his funeral, and we were looking at the coffin and everything. And I read about dreams, and dreams of death are about releasing a part of you and stepping into a new part of your life. So they're very easily explained. But I think in your terms, you are stepping into, like I pulled this and it was spiritual teacher. Your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. But you can't do that as the old Alessandro. You can't keep going, doing it your own way and carry that sword of light and stare loud and proud. And so something has to go. Something has to, I don't know, is this making sense? Is this helpful?
It does. It's just, I couldn't get to the other stage yet. and of course, it never is right there. So it was interesting that that's what happened. And I had to just be with that, and still am. And I'm ready for the next. So I'm going to do some meditation on that and just try and tune in to, because there's so many things possible at the moment, and there's a lot of creativity and ideas. So it's like, okay, guide me, I'm here, to serve. Actually, I often say that,
Yeah.
How can I serve in the best way possible, when I wake up,
Yeah.
So now I'm just present to that, I suppose. Yeah. So, but it's never, anyway, it was interesting. So thank you for sharing that, because that's a great help.
Yeah. I think it's resonating with everybody. And it's a stage that there was a healer called Derek O'Neill. And I went to his retreat center a few years ago. And at one stage he had said to I read his book, at one stage he said to his wife, I don't know the words that he used, but it was more or less saying, although I'm here as a parent and a husband, I'm here to serve spirit first. And if spirit tells me to leave here tomorrow and go and live in the desert, I will. And to the rest of the world, it might look like I'm running away from my familial duties and responsibilities, but I'm actually just purely following my guidance. So I really feel like that's a phase that's appearing. I'm not going to abandon my kids, but there's a level of that happening for me right now where it's like something is shedding, something is being released, and I think you're going through the same thing. So I would suggest that you, as well as go through this, Alessandro, hang a number on it, like I've just done, and say, yeah, I'm willing to do this the spiritual way, but 25 grand this month, show me. You know, that money will give me a salary, will give me peace of mind, and will help me to build out an amazing program. This Wealthy Lightworkers Academy will be a bright, shining light in the world. So it's hang a number on it, Alessandro. You know?
Yeah, it feels like that as well. Put it out to the universe. And I did it in February, actually. I was very clear about it. And I got I got more than the figure I put. And it was like the biggest figure for a year or something. So I know it can work, but then it's easy to let it go. So it's like, okay, come on, keep that up. And, you know, why not double it or more, you know?
So it's for everybody, and I think we did this in the Master at Metron. I don't think we're doing it here. Have I got it in here? Oh, I haven't got it in this notebook. But have you got it there? Your sweet spot? Oh, brilliant. I love you. Brilliant. Your basic, your sweet spot, and your jackpots. Love it. So your magic numbers, I'm going to repost that in this group to make sure that everybody has it.
I just did it yesterday. I'd forgotten to do it for like 3 months.
That's it. Yeah. And someone said to me this week, what you appreciate appreciates. So we need to know the figures. We need to know so my jackpot this month is 25. My basic to cover my business expenses is 5. What would be really lovely is 10. But 25 is where I'm aiming. So and I, you know, I didn't, when I started doing this exercise, my basic was 1,000. My sweet spot was 2. My jackpot was 3 or 5 or something like that. So you can start wherever you are, whatever yeah. So I would always say that the jackpot figure needs to be more than you ever made in a month. So if that makes sense. So I know that the biggest one lump that I've had is just over 18,000. So my jackpot always has to be bigger than that amount. So it's 25 this month. So I hope that's useful. Okay, thank you, Alessandro. Thank you for that, and thank you for sharing. And it's great to see you looking so alive. I'm just going to quickly read through the comments. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left. I posted it in our group, and I would really appreciate you taking a few minutes to just give feedback. You can do that privately with me if you want. I'm happy to even jump on a call with you next month, as soon as I have this launch over, and have a chat. But I would love your feedback on this space, this Wealthy Lightworkers program, which has now become the Diamond Track. And it's evolving, it is still evolving, but we're really only in it officially about 5 months. So I know there's things that need improvement, and I'm working on that in the background. I'm working on bringing on a team. I have a team, but I need the time to actually physically bring them in. So I'd love you to just give me your feedback, if you could, in the Facebook group. Find that post, it's near around the top, and just give me some questions. You can post in the Facebook group, you can send me an email, or you can private message me, or you can say, look, can we have a chat about this? And I'm open to all of that, because I really want to know what's working, what's not working, and what could be improved, and how I could make this you know, 100 times better experience for everybody and for all of us going forward. So I'd really appreciate that. I think I'm going to just unmute everybody, and if you all just want to come on and say one word, one aha that you got from this call, or one word, and it might be just bye, so I don't mind what you say. But just one word to end off the call. Unmute everybody.
I want to say something. I don't know.
Hi,
if you
Louisa.
hear me. Hello. Hi, everybody. About the criticism that we get from our parents and family, I think that I've worked a lot. My relationship with my father, which has been always great, but it's really, they were like my best friends. So I was telling them everything, but I was also allowing them to really. I was really pleasing them for everything, and they were criticizing me in every. Still, my father does, but I think that one nice sign for us to know that we have grown up is when we are able to say to our parents, like, "Fuck off! I don't care what you think, and I'm living my life, and
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm not depending on your on what you're thinking." And so that helped me a lot always when I have to just step into my power and say, like, okay, that's how you think, but I'm not going to change my way of doing it because you think that.
Yeah.
Point. That's nice. It's just, yeah.
I love
That's
it.
what I wanted to share.
Fuck off. I'll do what I want.
Yeah. It's very nice. It's very nice to use the F word with your father. It's great.
What a wonderful way to end the call. Thanks, Louisa. Anybody else? Hello.
I don't really have an awful lot to say, but I'm very hopeful after this call. I've been kind of quiet, just wondering what I'm going to do next. And over the past couple of weeks, I'm kind of starting to come out of my shell, and I'm ready to do something. And now this is kind of the real projection, the kick in the bum to go and do something. I'm going home now to put together something.
So prepare now for the abundant heart, and we're going to go through the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Red or blue seems to be the theme of this call. It's amazing. Everybody's red. Red is promotion, new beginnings, elevation, following your desires, your passion, quick start. Brilliant. Linda, thank you, love, and I'm
Thanks.
thrilled to see what's going to come. Smiler. Jenny Smiler.
I just put let go.
Words?
Sorry?
Any final words?
I just got let go, let God.
Yeah.
And let go. Let go of it all.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to write that down because that makes, you know, sometimes you hear these things and you're like, yeah, but today it really makes sense to me. So thank you. I'm going to write that down. Thanks, Jenny. Bernadette? Deborah?
So definitely ownership's come through like really strongly towards the end there. There is no ownership, and like Jenny said, I think we're really being asked to let go, let go of all of our stuff and all of our crap, but also let go of our work, like owning our work, owning energy. You know, there's no ownership. There's no we're here. That's it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to agree with it yet. You can still, you know, I'm still allowing it to be, and I might go through a few more moments of that's mine, give it back.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah, yeah. It's jealousy and you know, fear, all of that. child stuff.
Mm.
More
Thank
to work through. Amazing.
Thank you. Bernadette, how are you?
I'm good. I just wanted to say that there seems to be some pain in the group that they're not sharing, that they're feeling that they're alone with. And the whole point of having a group like this is to reach out. So I want to say to anyone who's struggling, you need to reach out. You need to speak. I'm always there at the end of a message. I'll always come back to you if you don't feel like you can do it in the group. But the dynamics have changed in this group for some reason, and I think people have forgotten that we're there for each other. And I think that's the reminder that I'm getting from this, is that we're all changing. We're all going through some shit. Every day there'll be same shit, different day. We need to share it, because when you share it and people come back, even if they've only got time to give you a sentence, it lessens the pain. You don't have to be on your own crying. Helen Quarmby, this is for you. Deborah, struggling with your choices, this is for you. So, reach out, guys. That's what we're all here for. It's and that's what Ashleen's here for. I know she's busy, but we can always drop on and contact you. So that's what I'm getting from this. Same shit, different day. We're all changing constantly changing, with programs, with work, with home, and that's the way we are. And sometimes we're not comfortable with change, and sometimes it's painful, and we just need to share it.
Yeah, Bernadette, thank you. And I think if anyone has anything that you want to share with the group, it could be a meditation, it could be a technique, it could be I have Zoom, I'm going to jump on and do a Zoom call. Does anybody want? I mean, I used to do this with my own mastermind a few years ago. It used to be like, look, I'm hopping on Zoom for an hour. Does anybody want to join? And just have a conversation. And it was a different conversation to what you'd normally have on Messenger, or because you were in a Zoom.
Yeah.
Activates that you're sort of working a little bit, or it's a different type of conversation. So I mean, you could do that. And I think a part of that is the structure of this group hasn't quite formed yet. With Metatron, we had the monthly review.
Yeah.
We did want to bring in a weekly review, and it is on my part, it's down to a team. That I had a team, and then I didn't have a team, and now I have a team, but I have to bring them, I have to train them. Some of those. I'm talking about mainly the tech. Someone that can post events for me and things. So I really appreciate you saying that, and I love that you said that, actually. So thank you.
It goes to you as well, Ashleen.
Yeah.
You're the leader, I know that, but you're going through some stuff as well, so you need to reach out.
Thank you. Okay, my darlings, I'm going to run and collect my kids. I will see you again. I think we have a call next week. I'm not sure. We have training or something. I posted the schedule there, so just have a read through it. Keep in mind, on most days, most of the calls are 10:30 your time, which is Wednesdays. I'm just a bit short for time. That's why I had to push it back. So anyway, I love you.
Thank you.
So grateful for today. Alessandra, have you anything to end on? Big kiss. Thank you.
No, just red, and I know the ones who aren't wearing red have red underwear on.
Oh! I'll have to check after the call.
Woo-hoo!
Oh God, I love it. Okay, my darlings, have a great week. Please share your thoughts, comments, anything that comes up after this call, because I think it's been quite deep. I love you all.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.